We have the big Vladimir Kramnik in the house, the 14th world champion of chess. Vlad, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
I saw you on day one here, and I didn't disturb you. You were so busy, you were so focused. Could you tell us a bit about your role here? It is so interesting to see you. You are here with Hans, but if you could tell a bit about this to our viewers.
Oh, mainly a bodyguard role, actually. Yeah, because no, I mean for Hans, yeah, there are a lot of attention, a lot of things, and yeah, I'm mainly working as a kind of bodyguard, shelter. I'm joking, but like somebody who is around him and who can help in daily things. Of course, in this chess, well, there is no real preparation or anything, but still, yeah. I mean, that's my, and also it's very interesting for me to be as a spectator, just to see how it's going, what is it all about.
But this is something which is very unique. I saw you because you were here. You were so caring. You would be walking with him. You would tell people don't no autographs. And this is something which I think you haven't done for anyone else before. I think.
No, for the Uzbekistan team, obviously, I was doing, but no, because I know that, well, basically, somebody has to take the role of a bad guy, yeah, and to refuse autographs or photos 1 minute before the game, because that is like, public should also understand that, yeah, it's like, it's not. Let's put it this way, normal to ask for a selfie half a minute before the game. Yeah, I mean, after the game, understandable, but before, yeah. And that's why somebody has to say no. And it's better when it's not the player himself, but me. So I'm the bad guy. I'm this, this tough guy who is behaving bad with kids and so on. That's fine for me. That's my role. That's why I'm here.
But is it limited to this? I'm sure that you guys would also be working on chess together.
I mean, not so much, especially lately at least, but yeah, I mean, it's more also psychological help a bit, certain small advices, yeah, but well, just it was not so clear if Hans was could be playing here, but at the very last moment, actually, he decided that he can do it, and then
Your tweet was very interesting. Yeah, you wrote.
no, I was just trolling a bit. Yeah, I mean, I already knew by that time.
I think you have mastered the social media game. Yeah, now you are.
I was just trolling a bit, but just for fun. Yeah, but actually, yeah, it was not very clear till the last moment. So then, when he finally, I mean, could manage here, then he just wanted to, if I can, because I'm not living that far, So it took me a few hours, and I'm there. So it's more for psychological kind of help, and yeah.
But clearly, I mean, you can contribute. I've seen you contributing so much chess wise to the young Indian talents, the Uzbek talents, and perhaps, I mean, you could also contribute chess wise, no?
Well, I mean, in this type of chess, not that much, yeah. In
You mean
Fischer,
freestyle?
I mean, freestyle, yeah. But
Fisher and chess
yeah,
960, everything.
yeah, but
Yes.
yeah. This you cannot really contribute that much, yeah. Especially since the pairings are done just like 5 minutes before the game. So yeah, there is not much to do in this respect. Even though still there are certain things which you can analyze. I mean, I gave some advices to him. I mean, very general in this particular game, but I mean, how to approach certain things in this. But okay, that's very general, yeah. But concretely, of course, no opening preparation or whatever.
And how are you liking this freestyle chess here? Because you are someone who has always been talking about the saturation of chess theory. At some
Yeah.
point, you also mentioned about no castling chess. There were events at Dortmund that were held. How do you feel about this freestyle chess?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I kind of I like it. The only thing that as a player, as a professional player, I think most of players, at least I spoke with quite a number of players, they actually enjoy it more than classical chess to play.
Actually,
Yeah,
all players because of no preparation.
Yeah, no preparation. It's more like more creative and so on. but the question is here if about the public. Yeah, I mean maybe for public it's more difficult. They would prefer classical ones. So it's yeah. I mean let's see. But I personally I'm quite interested. I mean yeah even to play or to watch. Yeah, it's fun. I mean I like it. Even though I still believe that we prepared. I mean we made the work with DeepMind and we because it was not only no castle chess but some other variations. For instance, actually fantastic. My favorite variation is even no castle, not no castle chess, but the chess. Everything is the same. All rules are the same. Only one rule that on top you can also take your own piece. It's very interesting chess. Very very interesting.
So it's like
Everything's the same, but you can take your own piece. Let's say on the move one, you can play knight g1 takes e2. Yeah.
oh,
I mean, what is interesting in it that first of all, endgames are completely different. All endgames, because let's say opposite color bishop, you put pawn on b7, bishop on c8, and then you take on queen. Yeah, you take your own bishop.
oh,
So it changes completely the endgame theory, and it because if you think actually, in essence, taking your own piece is sacrificing with tempi down. Because when you sacrifice, you give up your piece, let's say whatever, pawn or knight, then your opponent takes it and it's your turn. So actually, when you take your own piece, it means you sacrifice material with tempi down. So which means it actually creates, like, it's not happening that often, but in variations very often. So you always have to consider this option, and it creates like a lot of more beautiful games because we also made.
it's very complicated, no? Like I'm thinking about it.
No,
I have to
no.
put a piece somewhere where it can be taken by my own piece, and that could be a plan and so on.
Of course, like for instance, in opposite castles, yeah, that you just don't play h4, h5, you just take rook takes h2 and you open up h line, yeah.
Wow.
And he does the same, rook takes a7, and he starts an attack on a line. It's. I mean,
have you played some games?
Of course, yeah. But what we did is we made AlphaZero play all the variations. We invented 9, but you can make it 20 if you want. And actually, the games were sometimes amazing. Amazing game, especially this no taking your own piece. I remember one game, I don't know, maybe for audience it's a bit too special, but okay, I mean too specialized. But I remember it was really funny because I couldn't first understand what's happening. We were going through games, and then so there was Carlsbad pawn structure. So white has king on g1, pawns f2, e3, d4, Carlsbad. And white is crashing on the queen side, but black organizes attack on the king. And at some point, he had like king g1, rook f1, and black is hg. He took, so h line open, and black managed rook h6, queen h5, and white simply takes some piece, check on h2, king takes f2, taking his own pawn. Next, king takes e3, check, king takes d4, and king c5.
Wow.
So he took 3 pawns on the way and run on the. Also, there is no back rank mate. It just doesn't exist because you just take the pawn.
Right.
But actually, and there are some other variations, but they are also extremely interesting.
But in a way, from all of this, you I think realize, or maybe what's your take? It's not just enough to have a good variant of chess, but it requires a lot of promotion, a lot of funding.
Yeah.
And like, do you see that freestyle is doing it in the right way?
I don't know if it's, I mean, we will see if it's doing it the right way, but it definitely deserves attention as well. But what I mean that there are many other also variations, and in general, what I believe could be an idea at some point in future, let's say to make a chess tournament, maybe in 10 years, like to establish 5, 6 most interesting, most entertaining, and for public and for players variations, and then including classical chess. Then when you come to play a game, just 1 minute before the round, the pairing is for the variation. Then you just have no anymore prepared.
It was similar to this Amber tournament where there was blindfold rapid, two formats, but they knew it.
Here
you don't know.
there is always one out of, let's say, 6 or 10 variations. So because even in this type of chess, somebody is more experienced, less experienced, there is some. But here it's like there is 0, you cannot prepare because it's even different rules. And that makes it like completely, and maybe there is some variation which people will like more, yeah? So it's another option, but I believe that even though classical chess is still, of course, on the agenda. Yeah, but maybe it's time to try, because that is the advantage of chess. It's such a rich game, such a, that you can change one minor rule, like no castle, and it's almost different game. I mean, it's becoming 10 times more difficult for players to play, and more decisive game, more enjoying for public. So we can use this. I mean, this asset of chess.
But don't you feel like being one of the only 18 world champions in the history of chess, that this kind of classical chess is something worth preserving? It goes over generations and decades, or you are.
No, I mean, as to a certain extent, because computers are getting stronger and stronger, preparation, and we shouldn't be too strict on it, because if it becomes like boring, and let's say in the world championship match, too many show draws, yeah, and just simply you can more or less on the higher level, you can more or less, make a draw with white almost without a chance. I mean, it's losing something. So I mean, not that we should remove it, especially again for amateurs, it's perfectly enough just to play chess. But I think to add something, I mean, and to try at least, why not? Yeah, because in essence, it's still chess. Let's say no castle chess. It's chess. I mean, it's nothing different. It actually, I can tell that if we are talking already about no castle chess, that at the beginning there was no castle. Actually, it is the original chess.
There was some kind of Indian chess where pawns would move one square, no castling.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but castle is actually why we started with DeepMind on this no castle, because it's actually the very strange rule. I had an idea why it was implemented, because it's the only move in the whole rules of chess where two pieces move at the same time. It's very strange why you are making it. I mean, I understood, I think, why, but actually it's not natural. Yeah. So let's say removing it, it doesn't mean changing chess. Actually, it's maybe coming back to the roots of chess, because there is no need to make a cast. I mean, it is just inventive rule. It's not like very coherent with the game, because for instance on Parsan I understood why. This I understand very well. It's very important rule to avoid complete blockage, permanent blockage of pawns, and then it will be much more draws otherwise. But castle, yeah, I think you can skip it. So what I mean that and even this chess like freestyle like they play now, I mean it's still chess. Yeah, so I don't feel like we are betraying chess, because I think we are just being practical and trying to understand how to get back the creativity, because at the end of the day, if you get to the really base, to the essence, chess is a game the whole idea of the game is two people thinking.
Yes.
And somebody is doing better. Doesn't mean he's more clever, but just he's like intellectually stronger in this particular game, yeah, in this particular day. But if there is a preparation, you come up and you blitz out 20 moves, then your opponent forgets preparation and you remember, you just win a game. Frankly, it's completely against the essence. It's not anymore intellectual battle. Yeah. So
you have contributed like immensely to chess theory. So like
not
the Catalan is essentially
not even 5% of what computers did after. Yeah, and maybe will do even more. So I mean that I feel like in a way experimenting a bit, getting let's say opening preparation away is actually coming back to the essence of the game, right, in my opinion.
I think, Vladimir, we at some point I would love to speak with you on the chess variants and your thoughts, because I know clearly you have thought a lot on it and so on. But just because you are here for only a while, how is it for you right now? You are one of the people who online have such strong followers, such strong people who are against you, both ways. How is your life going right now? What is the main things that are happening with you? Of course, you are working with Hans. Is that one thing, or are there many things? Can you share?
No, I'm actually working with Uzbek team, mainly. Yeah. So with Hans, it's more like mentoring, I would say more. But concerning frankly, last 2-3 months I'm very busy with kind of other things, yeah, which is more legal things, talking to lawyers and so on.
It's about non-chess.
No,
It's chess. Okay.
yeah, it's chess. So it's quite a lot, and it takes a lot of time and energy, a lot. So we are kind of preparing one or multiple cases, legal cases. So it's not very pleasant, frankly, but I feel like unfortunately there is no other way now, and it get to this situation. So I think it will probably start in maybe I need another 2 weeks, 1 month, yeah. But it's a lot of work, a lot of work. I mean, all documentation, so on, and so unfortunately I'm busy with it. But hopefully, starting from June, I'm planning, by the way, to play in London.
Oh, yes, the World Rapid and Blitz team. Yes, I know. I think you are in the same team as with it also.
Yeah, we did it also with Anish as well, yeah. So then I would like maybe to spend a bit more time on chess, yeah, finally, because I feel like I'm already almost I can practice as a lawyer, almost at least in a certain part of law. I already know very well all the ins and outs, all nuances, but it's not really something I enjoy, and I like more chess.
It also sometimes feels like what you did all your life, which was chess. Now suddenly you have to go into a different domain. Like you could, like when you train someone or when you spend time with youngsters, it feels like a natural continuation of what you did.
True, but from other point of view, I always wanted to try also other things. I mean, I never really felt like I want to do chess all my life. So in some way it's interesting. I try I tried a bit in artificial intelligence, in even philosophy a little. I mean, not professionally, but like I'm interested in many things, and all this legal laws and so on. It's in its way, it's also interesting. It's actually interesting to a certain extent. I mean, but it's fine. It's a good experience. I mean, well, anyway, once you have to do it, at least you have to try to enjoy it. Yeah, otherwise it will be even more difficult. But it's fine. Yeah, but of course, in general, my main, I would say, field is chess.
Yeah. And lastly, I want to ask you, you are here with Hans, and of course, he always keeps talking about becoming the world champion. You spending time with him, do you feel like he has it in him to the qualities to become that? And I mean, you are the mentor of him, so.
No, but I mean, like, again, chess is changing a lot, yeah. And well, there is a number of players who has the qualities, but I mean, it's not only about your objective qualities. There is a lot to it, like your character, your nerve system. There are many other things. So, I mean, like potentially, I would tell that maybe there are like 30 players who can become world champion under some criteria, but who will realize it and who will not. That is that is very difficult. Yeah, because every single person, every single talented junior has some weak points, and if he or she cannot overtake it, it will be very high, but not probably world champion. So, and that only life can show. I mean, it's not like situation when now a lot of people play chess, a lot of kids, a lot of talents. Yeah, before it was very obvious. Okay, there is Kasparov, he's just such a star. Yeah, like way ahead of everyone. Yeah, so people would say, okay, probably he will become. Now the number of extremely talented and very determined, motivated people. So how do you know? It's difficult to say again who will become world champion and on what format also and in what time control. Yeah, it's becoming so complicated. But again, what I always like to do is to help juniors, I mean talented young people to realize to the maximum what they
This
can
I
do
have
to
seen
help.
up close that you when you do that, you do it with all your heart.
I try to help. I mean them, but I cannot make it for them. Yeah, but if I can help in some way because I have a lot of experience and certain things I know when I was young myself at that age, I would give a lot that somebody would give me this knowledge that I acquired myself after many losses, and then I understood finally some things. So of course, if somebody can give it, it just fastens the process. Yeah, so that's why I'm always happy to do this. So yeah, but unfortunately or fortunately, maybe otherwise wouldn't be interesting. You cannot guarantee the result. Yeah,
True.
it's,
True.
sometimes it's not only your talent and personal qualities, but also a bit of luck. Yes, some have
For
this
sure.
luck. Somebody like Korchnoi, they just don't have the luck. Yeah, or Bronstein just one move away from the title, but he didn't get it. So it's yeah. I mean, life is interesting when you don't know and you just see what is happening. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vladimir, for coming here, and I will be very much looking forward to seeing you on the board in London. It will be a lot of fun.
With pleasure. Yeah, it will be my pleasure. I don't know how will I manage, but I will try to prepare at least a bit to warm up because yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
so
much. All the
Guys,
best.
the 14th world champion Vladimir Kramnik here joining us and giving us a few minutes of his time to talk here. It was extremely exciting and nice to have him.